The main thing, however, I think is driving Prime subscribers. That's what this is about. Even if it ends up being a loss leader, even if Amazon loses money on a lot of these deals that they're doing, they don't care as long as they're signing up more Prime subscribers. Last time around, when they were doing this, they see Prime subscribers jump up 85% more than they usually do.
Well, wait a second. If that's the case, if it's not the numbers, the sales number that we should be watching, it's how many people actually decide to add a Prime membership. Yeah. That's not a good omen. That
right.
Makes me think the glitch is a bigger deal than I had originally thought about it when you lay it out in those terms.
Exactly, right. So I think that's important to look at. They turn, it's Prime Day, but it's 36 hours. They stretch a day into 36 hours, so there's more time left. I think there's a moment where I think if you're new to Prime and you're one of the few Americans who don't have it, it's still something to consider.
Do you think there's a ceiling on the Prime membership price tag? They just raised it about $20. We were talking about yesterday. There are now people who are starting to say, well, I mean, I've seen a little bit online. Is the price getting to a point where it doesn't work? For my family, it continues to work, but maybe for others at some point, it won't?
I think that's true, Andrew. I think that there's a practical ceiling for anything. And I think when you've got a membership program, when does the saturation point get hit? When you enter into a price comparison from that perspective, I think you're going to get to a point where people are going to take a look at it and say, am I really getting what I'm paying for? Think about it. The old days with Costco, you'd pay for your Costco membership. Every time you're in the store, you sit there thinking, all right, I've spent X dollars for this membership for the year. I really have to get more bang for my buck. So you fill the cart.
Right.
Amazon functions the same way.
But nobody's thought about it that way yet. The question is, what number forces that sort of psychological discussion?
Well, there was chatter that as soon as they broke 100, it would be an issue because 100 versus 99 is a magic number for consumers. I don't think that really happened yet. The monthly payment option has helped a lot of families where they can budget it a little bit better. As they add more content, that's, to us, has always been the key to the Prime value proposition, has been the value of the content, not so much the free shipping. And Amazon continues to expand the content offerings. And then with Prime, or with Prime Day, dropping the price of the devices, which are the entry to the ecosystem, to make it a really compelling value proposition.
Right. And they have for lower income, if you're on like food stamps, they have a lower priced option.
Let me ask you a separate question. We've been talking a lot about the miss on the Netflix earnings and the expectations that had been raised around their kind of growth. Amazon obviously has tried to build a video service. There's a big fight going on over the future of Hulu. Everybody thinks this is it, or this is the future. Did the earnings report yesterday change any of your minds about that?
Wow. I don't cover Netflix. I pay attention to it. I look at it through the Amazon lens.
Right.
There's a battle going on clearly for eyeballs and TV sets here with anything viewable, I guess. And Amazon is spending a ton of money, as is Netflix, according to what I hear. And it's an arms race.
It's an arms race, but I also think that, the way to look at both these businesses, Netflix and Amazon, is they're both subscriber-based businesses. The growth is going to come from international. It's going to come from domestic. They're starting to reach a saturation point. I'm estimating with Amazon Prime, maybe there's 80 million in the U.S. With Netflix, we know it's 60+ million. 100 million households, right? That's the TV number, right? That's the sort of the limit, and they're getting closer and closer. The growth is going to come internationally. I think with Netflix numbers from yesterday, their international growth was a little off, not off that much, so it's not that bad.
Can I ask another question just back to Amazon with that same thought that you just talked about? Andrew asked about, is there a ceiling on the price for Amazon Prime? Is there a limit on the number of members? Like, is there just a point where you hit the saturation?
No, I think that's a good question. I think 100 million households is the way to think about things like Prime membership or even Netflix membership. And I think the closer they get to that, the closer to saturation point. I think the price-wise, though, it's more just a membership fee. I don't think they're using that as a way to defray cost on anything.
What's a fair value of Amazon? We were talking about the fact that Jeff Bezos is
world's richest.
Net worth is now over $150 billion. He's outpacing, I think the margin is about $55 billion before you get to number 2, who's Bill Gates. And the stock is obviously, there's 4 stocks that have effectively held up the S&P this year, and Amazon is one of them.
You're asking a fixed income analyst for an equity valuation, but I'll take a shot at it. We look at Amazon through a long-term lens, obviously. If you look at it from a fundamental perspective today, it looks pretty soft because of all the investment that's going on. I have trouble with the valuation because I have trouble looking into the future, which is what a lot of the equity analysts are doing. I can't predict what Amazon's EBITDA will be for Q2 2018, much less 2 or 3 years out, which is what a lot of these valuations are built off. That said, I think that the company's investments are starting to pay off. Last year, they increased the balance sheet by $35 billion, didn't really add any operating income. We're starting to see some of that flow through. So I think you're starting to see some more conventional, fundamental type metrics look better than they have over the last couple of years.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.